Hold on. Hello, Facebook. It is your girl talking tea with Tika. We're here. I know you guys going, why is she live at this time? This is not her regular time. But this is a breaking news situation. I do have the pleasure and the honor of having Mr. Verlin Brooks on the phone. He's on the phone now. And he's agreed to talk to us just a little while. He has a lot to do, and I have a lot to do. So we're only going to talk for a brief moment. Mr. Brooks, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and get some questions answered, as many as we can in this short period of time, okay? So what I want to start out is by asking you this simple question. And hello, y'all. I know people are saying hi, hello. Make sure you guys go ahead and share this live real quick. I wanted to ask you, what exactly have you done? What have you done? Do you have trademark? Tell me what you've done, if you can, just an overview of what you've done.
Well, first of all, again, this is Verlin Brooks, and I do have the copyright of all three dances: Boppin, steppin, and walkin. Before I describe it, I'm going to let you all know that you can go into copyright.gov. You can go into search. When you go into search, you would type in Chicago World, the Chicago World style, Boppin. Now, get this part very, very clear. When you type in Boppin, you type it with an EN instead of an IN. You do comma. You do the same thing with steppin with the EN instead of an IN. And you do not put the word "and" right behind that comma. You put walking with an EN instead of an IN. I'm going to cover that in a minute as far as the EN. Then you type in small caps the word "by," and then you will type in the next word, "the cool." That is my stage name because I also sing. And you will have a drop-down choice that will give you options. You do the drop-down for choosing how many pages. The pages of choosing will be over 100 pages. You check that, and then it will pop up as to the read and as to the spelling, as I have just said, with a copyright TXU number. TXU number indicates that it is protected throughout my whole life and up to 70 years after I am deceased. I own the copyright. Now, let's explain something, a couple of things here. The copyright spelling does not necessarily indicate a particular spelling as far as the copyright law and rules go. The copyright rules go as indicated regardless of the spelling, any spelling that is close to or the legal word using is similar, it would then indicate as my copyright. Now let's go to the writ as to that part of my copyright. The writ as part of my copyright is concerned, well, the documentation within the first couple of pages, you'll see my face. Normally will know who I am. But the writ part that explains the EN instead of the IN, it reads as thus, whether it is spelled with an EN or an IN or an ING or something to the fact of ETC, regardless of how it is spelled, with the instructions of Boppin indicated blueprint by document writing, various different ways of introducing Boppin, and the same as to the steppin, whereby whether it is indicated various different ways as to the count of the 6 count or even the 8 count. And it also diversions in there that I made sure it was stipulating various views as to the writ or the read of the same said documentation. It would be my copyright owner, which means owner of the dance itself. That's what a copyright is, the owner of the dance, which means the property. Property of a copyright simply means how you describe it. and in this case would be the instructions and the differentiated ways it is written to the reader. But I give it so many ways to the reader so that in case someone was to want to come back and want to copyright it a different way, it will cause more confusion to be able to copyright it over. Which even the one way, had I just did it one way, would still been hard for anyone to come behind and do the copyright.
Okay. So let me make sure I'm understanding. The way that it can be found in the Copyright Office is by EN, bopping EN, steppin EN, walkin EN. All right, so I got that.
Come after.
With the comma.
Come after.
All right.
Come after the first two. By, but you have to write by, be cool. You have to write all of those words in there.
All right, so what was your vision and your thought process when you decided to do this?
Well, I was working with a particular, again, which I will not say the name, and at the same time, I'm a grandmaster, martial arts, so once in a while I go there and I was teaching particular police officers in Madison, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee, privately, martial arts and self-defense and safety techniques. I'm an ex-police officer myself, and so what happened was that while there working with this particular person, and they worked for the state of Milwaukee and worked for Madison, Wisconsin, and still work for Madison, Wisconsin. Some things happened without going through all that, which it was obvious that when a couple of these people who works for the state within this particular person's class, but it seemed like they got very inquisitive and they were speaking in the concern of too much concern about the interest in the dance. And I told this particular person I was curious about that because I was from Chicago. And being at SCOP, I'm very investigatory, and I'm finna let nobody steal the dance from us. And no disrespect to them, they don't be from the origin of colored people, or in this case, particularly even blacks, where blacks have created the dance. So with all of that hoopla back and forth between me and this particular person, and years that passed by, where I went back to Ellington, Milwaukee, and danced for a commercial. And I made them sign that they would not, a disclaimer to own anything dealing with the product before I did the dance. And I shocked them because I showed them with the disclaimer. And I was just scared that they was going to still speaking, well, they would have been able to steal the dance.
Okay.
And after, yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm clear. Because I think I like that story that you told me about that, and it sounds like you're doing this for the community, and I love.
Right.
Now, do you own the name, or do you actually own the name and the dance?
I own the names and the dance. The dance is the copyright by what I've already said. The trademark is the names. I own the names as well. I got the trademark to it. That's on that flyer that I spread it out there. The 8808 with the rest of the numbers is the trademark number, also protected. And the TXU/2 is with the rest of the numbers is your copyright number. The copyright protects the dance, and the TX number and the trademark number is to protect all three names.
Now, that's all. So let me ask you this: now, are these documents with the state of Illinois? They're the state of DC. I mean, where? I mean, I'm sorry. They're in Michigan. Where are these? Are they worldwide? I mean, where?
These documents are filed with the Washington D.C. Library of Commerce with the copyright and trademark. It is within the United States of America. I own these dances all over the United States of America.
Okay. So what do you say to the people that say, what gives you the right to be able to own this dance?
Your phone breaking up.
What do you say to the people that say, what gives you the right to be able to own these dances and you didn't start them? I mean, what is your comeback to that?
Yes, I can give you a comment based upon just my own perspective, and I'm going to also give you a legal comment to that.
Okay.
Because I stick close to the law.
Okay.
But my first personal comment is that when no one has filed the matter, which kind of goes into a legal point. But when no one has filed it, there is a record as to say who owned it. There is no proof and of who particularly provided a particular or a group that developed the dances and or the name or whatever the case is. That would be illegal and for stated to say that someone will legally have rights to going into the legal point of view and explanation to this. But I'm going to get a little bit deeper into the legal one in a minute. So it was, excuse me, open for anyone. I had much as rights as anybody else had copyright to dance. And as to that said, many people have forwarded their copyright as said, or as I did, and I have proof of those people, and I know those people's names, but I won't mention their names,
No.
who have failed in their copyright, and I have proof by federal lawyers with the Library of Commerce, and they're not supposed to say nothing. I got to protect their names.
Of course.
So the whole point is that I am not the only one who set out forward to do what I had did, but I am the only one that succeeded. Now, the legal answer to your question is this. The law says that the originator would be the person who will have the right to copyright it, but there's an interpretation as to the originator. Under the federal law within the Washington, D.C., the originator would be the person who develops the property, going back to the word I used earlier. And the property is as a state already of the law, which is the person who drafts up as said already, I did. And then that person will be the originator of the documentation. There is to be filed a documentation by hard copy of the literature, as I have found. There is, that makes it original, because it is original documentation. That's the interpretation of originator, person who creates this paperwork and this documentation. Just in part, one way to be interpreted as an originator by federal law. Another way is mono. Mono will be pictures, and pictures will be one way to add to a copyright. But you can do a writ, as I did, by instructions of, like I just explained to you, and it can be without pictures, and you can still do the copyright. But mono do not explain and express a legal writ by itself. The third way to do a copyright would be video. Video serves for a writ, and a writ serves for a video because you can visualize it in your mind. But a mono, which is pictures or something like that, does not serve for the two. So the whole point I'm saying is that legally, because I did the writ, which serves for a video interpreted by the person's imagining and being able to understand what I put in there, and also be it because people are doing it, that makes me own it. So that's the legal standpoint to it, you know, and then there's other areas that goes into it also that's connected to that. So legally, I own the rights because I'm the original person who put together said property as just described. And just in general, from a natural state standpoint of a person's emotions and expressions, what I have expressed and did it. Expressions cannot, under the federal law, be copyrighted because that means an ideal. You have not just an expression unless it's deemed by property. Only in Japan can you copyright things said by an imagination.
Okay.
That federal law is that upon its birth or thought insemination, it is deemed that person's copyright, but not in the United States of America.
Okay, so and thank you for that. That was a lot. I'm gonna just let you know that my mind is somewhat blown. So, but I did take a few notes. I took a few notes, just a few. But you seem very versed in this area. What you mentioned originator, does that mean you're just the originator of the application that you filled out, or does that mean that you're originator of the dance? Because not necessarily the dance. You mentioned six and okay.
Originator and documentation that explains the dance and the instructions of the dance. All those originator and instructions of the dance is the property, and that the property would be the dance itself. No one under the federal law can copyright a dance per se, because the dance is considered by that form an expression, and an expression cannot be copyrighted by itself. But under the same federal law, by virtue of the property, you then dare to own the dance. And the property would be the instructions of the dance that is being so specified as owner of the dance. So in my writ, I describe myself as the owner of the dance by being written descriptions and instructions of the dance, and all that within itself becomes the property.
Okay.
And I own property of the writ that makes me owner of the dance. And the federal law goes a little bit even further, that I'd rather, on the earlier part of our conversation, do that at that particular setting that you and I discussed, because this I'm deep right now, but it gets deeper than that.
Yeah, we don't want to go no deeper, because we are so lost right now. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so it's a lot that you're saying. So let's go back to when you say that you own the dance, where you own the steps 6 and 8 count. From my understanding, and I could be completely wrong, but from my understanding, LC came up with kind of the pattern of the dance, the 6 and 8 count. I don't know if it was the 6 or 8. I don't know if it was both, whatever the case may be. So wouldn't LC be like the originator, or that's different?
Let me help you. First of all, there was no pattern to the dance. There's no legal such thing as a pattern to a dance. So let's strike that right now. You'll never find it in anybody's law. So and then second, let's go further than that. I gave you an ideal illustrated demonstration of wording when I said 6 or 8. But then, as far as bopping is concerned, in my writ, it describes in my writ a freestyle base, which is only mentions the freestyle. I cannot even own the freestyle based bopping, because freestyle based bopping has no fitting specifications. But I mentioned this from the freestyle basis of bopping to a 2-step, not just 6 count or 8. When you open it up and you'll read it, you'll see where I'm going to a 2-step. You'll find where I'm going to a simulated 3x3, which is a 6. You'll find where I am going through a 6 count, which is a 6 count walk. You'll see where I am going through a 6 count, which is a 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. You'll see where I am going to the steps of 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. I have so many derivations to the 6, whereby provided anybody was to go in there and change it, it would be pretty much the same as I have. Even with the 8 count, I have that the 6 count is privy to the 8, because the 2 ands, wherever that it is in there for the 6 count, is the hidden counts for the 8. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, the 2 ends will still be the balance of the 2 counts to make it an 8, regardless of wherever you put your 1 at. So when one person step out what they write and want to say is for 1, somebody may go into their 7/8, which is the back step, 2-step, or stepping on a dime in one place as a 2-step, 7/8.
Okay, so wait a minute, because I don't want you to go too far, because I know you got to go and I do too. So I know you got to go and I do too. But so you own that. I think another question I definitely want to have.
Your kind of breaking up.
I think I want to ask you this too. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay, so very good. I want to ask you now: can people still have stepping sets? Can they still have stepping events? Can they still use the word stepping? Does that have anything to do with what you have as a copyright or trademark?
It has everything to do with what I did. I'm gonna tell you what it has to do with everything that I have done, but I'm gonna tell you what my that is as far as community, as you mentioned earlier. So now, first of all, I'm gonna go into that to say I needed to make sure, as far as community is concerned, no disrespect, but no genre or no government policy that was we didn't put together by the government as the black people or as people who have been dancing for a long time. Still, it where they control it and we don't have it no more. Okay, I have those rights that they would have had they done it. But I'm black. I'm from Chicago. Chicago needed to have had it because it's the capital of Boppin and steppin and walkin. So, with that being said, I do have the right to all that is said within your question that you said, that you just brought up, but the fact of the question that you just got into. And
hello, are you moving around? Because we want to get this part right here. Hello? Hello?
I'm still driving. You got me?
I got you. You're back. Okay, so I want to find out, again, you said, so you there? You are, can you hear me good? All right, I'm not moving. It's probably on your side because you're moving.
It got to be because of me then, because I'm
you're
moving.
Right? Yeah,
I'm going into blind spots. I'm going into messed up, breaking up spots.
That's okay.
That's I'm driving.
I am patient. So I want to make sure, because people are concerned, promoters are concerned that if they use, these words on their advertisements or they have a contest with these words, could they be in trouble with you or no? I mean, because
okay, ing
and in, because people don't really use the en that I've seen. Ing and in.
in and ing, either way, I own them all. It is written as an en for the interpretation of the dance. I just did that for a different identity for myself. But the copyright law says, regardless of how it is spelled, it is still mine. And also the copyright law, based upon what I've written in there, is regardless of the spelling, and I specified I-N-E-E-N or I-N-G. After I did the wording that I did word, I put in I-N-I-N-G and E-N-E-T-C, regardless of how it's spelled. Long as the instruction is as stated as it is, and long as people are dancing as it is indicated in the copyright, then regardless of how it is spelled, the property is the dance. It doesn't matter how it is spelled. I own the property. So and then that's first, and then I own the name. And the name, as far as the trademark is concerned, I had the trademark be supportive of the copyright, meaning that because they asked the question in there, how do you plan to use your trademark? I indicated the spelling, but I just trademarked it with the EN, and I also indicated reference to the copyright that it be used according to the said and mentioned that is indicated in the copyright, which in the copyright says whether it's ING, EN, or ING, and as to all of the written to you as well. So the trademark is when you're using it with the dance, whether it's IN or ING, or I still own the trademark as well. You have to word something a certain way whereby somebody wants to come in and want to do something behind you, you'll be protected 100%. So that's why I worded it that way.
So you can be protected.
Let me cover something that you asked me.
Okay.
You asked me about the rights that the person will have to use it, be it some type of publication, price, et cetera, my own wording. The answer to that question is this. Truthfully, but I have an idea of how I'm going to approach people with this. Truthfully, the right is that anybody doing any type of publication, that means even 95.1, anyone who is doing any legal publication are supposed to contact me. For publication and information that the people to know, they are supposed to contact me. I legally, which I'm not planning on doing nothing as grand and as bold as this, I have an idea of what I'm going to do. Legally, it is called licensing to use legal copyright. I am the only one all over the United States of America. You can type it into Google and recovery.gov and ask the question by sentence or questions of facts, and they will let you know that can give licenses to any type of publications or parties or anybody making money off of these dances. I'm not going to hurt nobody like that, but let's just get down to the nitty gritty. I am the person because I have the copyright. I know that's going to make some people stand still, start breathing, and check their heart, and
honey, we stopped breathing on Saturday.
About doing.
Okay.
I did it to protect the dance. At the same time, I can make some money off the dance. I am hooked up with a couple of movie people. I can't see their name. I hesitated to them.
Oh, yeah.
And I plan on with different things that we're looking at ideas for movies is concerned to grab people from all over the world, people I do not know as well, so that we can put our name on the map as far as steppers who's been stepping for a long time, not just in Chicago, but all over. Be it St. Louis, Milwaukee, California, Vegas, or wherever. Okay, where they come from. It has been keeping this thing alive. It's the respect and the honor that I owe them too, and that I will give them at the same time, because there's enough money out here for everybody to be made. The whole thing is when the government of Milwaukee and Madison saw what was really going on here, they decided to do some of the things I'm talking about doing because steppin is so broad and it has grown. So my whole point is that now that I got my hands on, I can reach out to people through you, et cetera, and other people, and do something big and then make some money. But yeah, it would make the sense. Provided it was a white man that was doing this, and they said that somebody had to pay taxes or do this and do that, just like you weren't supposed to be buying no water. Now we buying water. What kind of sense did that make?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's a matter of course, we want to make sure our dance is protected.
Your phone breaking up.
All right, is that better?
Yeah, that was better when you asked that question.
All right. So I don't think it's necessarily that you were a black guy and we were afraid of white people to come to get it. Of course, we don't want the white folks to get it, or our light-skinned cousins. I don't want to just do that. I love my white listeners as well. But this is our right. So I love this, but just from your did you do this for the community or did you do this for a profit?
I did it for the community, but there is definitely a being profit to it. I did it for the community, but I definitely did it for whereby I'm going to make some money. Everybody else is making money for it, and they're not. And then it wasn't an issue or question of whether it's being legal or not. And when it become legal, I need to be concerned about making money like folks were doing it, and it wasn't a matter of being legal. But let me tell you something. People don't know this, and I want everybody to get this, whether they get it or not. This is the truth.
Okay.
I'm connected. Here's another deep level that people ain't even thought about. That they basically talking about the shadow cover that we own. That it seems like I broke the ice and they're afraid it's going to crash. This is a deeper level. The government, by them looking at these dams and call themselves World Distillery, I'm going to tell you what was going to happen. They was going to get it. It was going to be their property, and you was going to have to pay the same amount of money to keep on doing it. They had a way to keep on to do it, but when I got it, first of all, they were saying, can they understand it? So they were talking to people in various different places. Some of the people that you bought talking to, they bought and talked to them too. The government is looking at how they was able to steal the dance, but then control all of it, whereby you would not be able to make the money that people are making money off of it at this present time. And I'm going to tell you another thing too. Had they got it, and I'm going to say this real deep, and it is very, very serious. I want people to think about this. It is very, very serious. Had they got this and made this a part of them that they can tax to you all, they can't tax it to you when I have it. Had they taxed it to you, everybody And I'm talking about Pete Fraser too. No disrespect to Pete Fraser. They has been doing this for the last 29 years. When they look at money that is incurred, and they look at things that you have gotten over a certain period of time, I'll tell you this because I'm ex-federal. And they had to look at what you have accomplished over a certain period of time, and certain things was not being paid tax to as far as how you have recovered it. They would have had the right once they call themselves controlling and owning this dance, and to determine because so many people have made this much money and bought this house and bought these cars, like to recover everything from you. But when I snatch this, people ain't thinking about this. When I snatch this, and I got a copyright to it, they have no rights to it. I'm gonna tell you, in a way, I protected some of the same people, even Pete Fraser, whether people want to say I did it or not. Because if they did it, and they would have been like, okay, because after you make so much money within the United States of America, and you can't claim ownership to how you made that money, you have to answer under the federal law to where you got that money from. Even when they didn't know, a lot of the government per se did not, as far as Washington, D.C. per se, as far as Library of Commerce per se, as far as who licensed these different things per se, did not know pretty much about steppin. They looked at steppin as college stumping. You go side to side like they do with college football teams and stuff like that.
Correct.
They didn't know what steppin really was.
Correct. Let me ask you this, and then I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to continue to hold you because I know you wanted to do some things separately. Let's go back to the word. The word, and of course you know this, was coined by our grandfather, which would be Sam Chapman. I'm assuming, from based on what you said, that that was wide open. It was something that Sam or people back then didn't copyright or didn't trademark or whatever the case may be. If you indeed did this for the community, and you can say you don't want to answer this question, it's fine. I told you that before we even got started. If you saw that there was an opening there, and you know that Sam is the one that has been given the respect of coining the phrase stepping, why did you not reach out to Sam and help Sam get the copyright instead of doing it yourself?
Okay, first of all, I didn't know before I copywritten it that Sam had did it. I approached Sam when he was at a party that he was DJing for money, and this was last year. And I thought I would approach him like this, because I didn't even know. And Sam can tell you that I had this conversation. I had already copywritten. I said, Sam, I said, I copywritten dance. I talked to him about it once before. He didn't say nothing about it. And then I said, listen, what I was thinking about doing is doing certification so I could get my black people registered within the United States Commerce in Washington as being a part of something that was created by all of us and then on file in Washington, D.C. to be noticed. I said, what I would like to do for you, because you've been doing DJing and playing steppin music for a long time, I would like to honor you certification and do an event and honor you certification as the godfather of steppin. And he yelled at me, he said, you can certify me from the godfather of steppin. He said, I am the godfather. I'm the one that thought of the name on the radio. I said, excuse me, I didn't know that. This is the first time I'm hearing that. I said, don't forget, godfather, I just approached you. So I'm approaching you with the matter. I already got the copyright. I'm approaching you. You just telling me this is the first time I'm hearing something like that. At least I am respecting you. I ain't worried about that until now. And my hands been harder when I be coming up to you. I'm coming up to you. You say, well, I'm just saying, I got you. I help you promote, but you can't make me no godfather. I've been a godfather. Okay, so he didn't see where I was giving him his respect, but the copyright has already been done. At the same time, had I even known, which I did not know, he had just as much right as I was to do it. Now, that name would have been the trademark thing he had used. He would have owned the name. He would not have owned the dance. Now, he told me, I was on the radio or on the DJ, whatever DJ, and I just thought of And I just thought I wasn't even really calling it the name of the dance. He said, I just said, that's steppin.
That looks like steppin. Right, that's what he said. Let me ask you this, and we want to try to move it along really fast. Okay, so you seem to have maybe had a little, not much knowledge when you decided to do the copyright in terms of where the actual name came from. Now, from my understanding, you've been dancing or in this community for quite a while. I've only been in this community maybe less than 6 years, and I knew about Sam Chapman and the fact that he had named it Steppin, but I digress. That's not even important to this. My question to you is this. Who did you involve or who did you talk to before you decided to go out and do the trademarking and copywriting? Did you talk to any of the pillars of our community to make sure, because to be honest with you, it feels like you overstepped, if you will. So to avoid that overstepping feeling, did you ever go to any of the pillars in the community and have a transparent conversation with them and say, hey guys, this is what I would like to do before our dance is taken from us? Did you do that?
I did that on an individual basis, and I'm going to tell you on my
Did you do it before? Did you do it before or after or during?
Before. Watch this, and I got proof. You're gonna see it in the proof when I say, well, even though you don't even know me, just listen to this very, very carefully. And I'm laughing because I'm glad I did what I did, because I didn't even know this person was going to be asked. I just did it on my own, so I'm glad that I did what I did. Now, this is what I did. I went to Terrible Kid. I said, Terrible Kid, I'm honoring people on my own certification because I'm planning on copyrighting the dance because ain't nobody. This was like way before I even started doing the thing with Madison and Milwaukee, like 2013, 2016. I said, will you be happy? Do you mind signing certification by you being one of the people who was on radio or radio personality for stepping and stuff? He said, no, I don't mind. So some of the certificates that I just gave randomly, just being friends to people, he signed, knowing that I was going to do the copyright. Also, let's go a little bit further. Margaret, who danced in the competition, I sat her down and told her what I planned on doing. She asked me what was the purpose for the certificate. I said, I'm planning on copyrighting dance, so I don't think anybody else doing. Don't know whether I will succeed or not. But I want to honor people before I end up copyright. Don't know whether I will succeed or not. I said, can I honor you a certificate? And she said, oh, well, I guess I don't mind. I did a certificate. She signed it. It's attached to my copyright. Take Dockery Doc. I talked to him about the same old thing and told him what I was planning on going out. And then he said, well, he didn't mind signing it, whatever happened, happened. So I went that route with him. I signed, I had already typed up, pre-typed it up, I had an idea, brought it to their attention, they signed it. I made a copy. This was at the plan. I did this a plan. Brought my printer out there and everything. And he signed it, and I put in my documentation. Let's go even further. Barack. I got Barack attached to it. Talked to him about the same old thing. Let's go further. Shorty Smooth. I talked to him and told him about what I was doing. He even approached me Friday at the pre-party. He said, yeah, this is what you were talking to me about? Or was it Saturday, whenever you promoted me? When you talking about doing what you're talking about doing? I said, yes, this is what I was talking about. You are attached to the copyright. I talked, he said, yeah, okay, I know you talked to me a while ago. I said, yeah, and you end up gave me a certificate. I still have your certificate. Open up the documentation of your copyright, and you are attached. Maurice is attached to it. The one with the big head.
Do they know? Now this is completely, if they don't know what they signed, of course that's on them. I don't know. I'm not going to even try to act like I'm an attorney. Okay. I'm not going to do that. But do these people know what they signed? Did they know? Because you kind of didn't really answer my question. My question actually was, did you talk to these people with an idea of what you were, wait a minute, hold on, specifically, before you did it, from what you just said, you are already kind of in a process. Like, okay, well, I want y'all to be a part of what I'm getting ready to do. Versus saying, hey guys, this is what I think we should do. Those are two different feelings. You know what I mean?
Okay, just feelings are a matter of thoughts. Thoughts create emotional reaction. I understand the neurological aspects, the scientific aspects of it, and I understand how emotions are developed.
Right.
Because I'm very scientific and literate to that as well. So my point to you is this. In answer to your question, which I did answer, the way that I did answer, and the answer was, and is this, is that, yes, I pre-thought about what I was going to do. Because I don't get around people and some thoughts can come to my head, but when I get home and get into my quiet place, psychologically one of my philosophies is to set in a place of peace and think and collect what I'm going to do.
Right.
Most of my thinking is when I'm alone, because I am a writer as well, strong in poetry. So I think that in a quiet place sometimes. So my whole point is, that thought came up in my mind, and then I brought to them what I was planning on doing. I typed up the ideal and everything that I put together as far as certification and as far as explanation is concerned as to the writ of the certification. I had specific discussions about specific facts with each individual before they signed it. Matter of fact, I read the certificate out for them, as you said, understanding is concerned, and you're not young, you don't know what they say. I read it specifically because it is the law to read it to them before they did sign it. So I did read it, and they did sign it, and I'm not going to believe that, now not that you're saying this either, that people were so that privy to ignorance that all these folks can sign the certification and did not understand what the heck they signed. Because I got about 30-some certificates, see, and all of them are attached to my copyright. So it's a line in there. Who knew and who did not know? Or how many people knew or how many people didn't know? Or did they sign to something that they didn't know? Or how many folks signed to something that they did not know? What we're going to believe as far as how many of these people that did sign, as for the alleged, signed and did not know? It's very questionable on them, not on me.
Right. I mean, people, not that, again, not that it's your fault. People sign things and may be a little confused. It doesn't change the fact if they signed it, then that means they agreed to it, and they're saying they agreed to and read it. I guess it just feels very divisive to some. To some, it just feels very divisive. Some say, well, that's great. At least we know that someone has protected our thing that we all love so much. But then on the other hand, folks are going, well, what about all of our legends that's been doing this for years, that's been in this thing so long, put their heart, sweat and tears in it. And what about those folks? I mean, did you talk to those folks and let them be a part, or let them do it? Like, let them be the person. Why are you the spokesperson versus it being Pete Frazier or somebody that's known and well respected in this community? Not saying that you're not respected, not saying that, but someone that's well known and well respected in the community that we know obviously is pushing this community forward. Not saying that you're not, but a lot of people just don't know who you are. A lot of people do. But why would we not let that person be the poster child? Why is it that you decided that you would be the poster child just based on the fact that you knew the knowledge? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? That's kind of where the problem or the questions lie.
Two things. Two ways of answering that question. One, or three. And what I'm coming up with a lot of others. One way. One reason is this. Because dealing with the federal law, there is a way to file. Let's just say even I help somebody else file. I didn't think about this at the time. So I'm thinking about this while you're asking me, and it makes sense that I even thought about this at the time, even when I think about it right now. One thing to say, when it comes down to reading the law versus understanding of the law. Under the federal law, when it comes down to understanding the law, there's a separate part to it, which is interpreting the law. And with interpretation of the law, there is another thing called writing the law. And when writing the law, after that, there's another interpretation of the law, which is called response to the law, or defending yourself within the law of the same writ, or finding something to go with it within the law and interpret it where it can support the law that you have already found introduced already. And it's just, there's so many stages to this.
Yeah.
And I knew that But I thought about this idea. I can't speak who's a better candidate in the area of the law. Not that there is nobody better than me, and I only know myself. And I only know how thorough I am. I only know how aggressive I am. I only know how I study to make sure I understand something. I only know how I will put my foot down to make sure I get this done. I know how strong I will be. I only knew what I call my me. I only knew myself. And I know Pete Frazier for doing what he was doing. I don't know him as to know my me, as to know myself, as to know how as far as the law is concerned. I did check into some things.
And hold on, I'm sorry. I know that you said that you know the law and you know Pete and all these folks, and they may not be as well versed as you are, and that's great. But that's why you have a team, and that's why you have something called community. Something where I may be weak at, there may be somebody in this same community that may be strong in that area. So if I am trying, hold on, let me finish the thought. If I'm trying to build the community, because that's what you said you did it for. If I'm trying to build a community and I have all these people around me that's not as smart in this area, I may not know as much in this area, but because I want to give them the respect or the homage or whatever's due to them, why could you not take the back seat, let them be the poster child, and you just the powers that be, or you the person, you the machine in the back. Let me explain something real quick to you. Me being the tea lady, I simply know how to sit here and talk. The rest of my stuff is handled by my team. I can't keep up with my schedule. I don't know where I'm supposed to be, what time I'm supposed to be there. Just figured out how to ride the aeroplane, like my grandma said, by myself. Literally just figured that out in the last year. I said all that to say this. That's why I have a team. I have people in my team that's strong in certain things. I'm on this, they do that, everybody know their area. My question to you again is, and I don't want to get off into what you know, because apparently you know a lot, and you're a valuable asset to this community. My question to you is again, is why did you not allow someone else that has put their time in to be the forefront and you be on the back and say, let me tell you what we need to do, y'all. Now, Sam gonna be the poster child, or Pete gonna be the poster child, and I am going to be the legal side. You gonna do Pete hair, you gonna do buy Sam's shoes, whatever. Why did you not do it that way? That's the part that's the question I want from you. That just can't answer. Just stay there.
As far as the poster child part, as far as you're not talking about the literal flyer poster person. You're talking about legally owning it. What do you mean?
No, not necessarily. Well, okay. Yeah. Let's go to just Sam. I'm not even talking about the dance itself, because you said you own two. You own the word and you own the dance. So let's just, for the sake of this scenario, for the sake of this question, let's just simply tackle the name and the fact that Sam Chapman coined the phrase stepping. If he did not know what to do, and again, this is for sake of community, if he did not know how to do it, why would you not allow him to be the person that do all this you've done for stepping only? Why would you not be his advisor and say, let me tell you what you need to do. Do this, that, and the other, so you can keep this. You'll always go down. Now, he'll always go down. Let me just first say this. Sam Chapman will always go down as being the person that came up with stepping. I don't care how many papers, certificates, Bibles, books, whatever you have. You do know that he will always be the person that everybody respect as being the father of stepping the word. That's just period. Okay. So you got me. So I just need to know why you didn't feel it necessary to do that instead of saying, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to let y'all come behind me.
Okay. Now, as you said, and as I said earlier, when I approached Sam, I did not know, whether you believe it or not, that he mentioned it to me. I had already did the copyright and the trademark and told him I was going to certify him as the godfather. That was on my own. He mentioned to me he was the person that came up with the name. I said, I did not know that you're telling me that right now. And I told him, I'm not So you the godfather then. You the godfather. Still, let me give you a certification for it. He said, well, I don't need you to make me the godfather. I did not know it, that he had came up with the name before I had did it. And now, let me, whether it's believable or not, and let me say another thing also. Let me say another part also to that is this. Two, because you mentioned something else. I answered that question right there, but here's something else I want to add to something that you said earlier. And let's just say I was to have used Pete for one thing in part right and used Sam for one thing in part right. And let's just say, idealistically, I was to have used Dre in another part as part right.
Right.
Let's just say that. Let me use these three big numbers, okay? Now, I have, I'm a tread light here now.
Tread light.
Listen to me. I have noticed some aggressive attitudes on certain people's names that I have mentioned, just naturally being their demeanor. Now let's deal with the legal part here. When you do something like that, those rights are called, under the federal law, neighborhood rights. And when you do a neighborhood right like that to a copyright, and you have some strong demeanors that in certain areas, there is destined to be complications and altercations and worse strong demeanors. What will happen is this. Somebody got strong enough, and I know, I'm not going to say who a couple of people is, that this would have caused an issue on certain levels in certain places. I'm not going to say that have been unsaid the name, but when I say the area. And I'm telling you, what will have happened, the government would have solved this argument and solved this dispute because it would have gotten ugly in certain areas. And I talked to you on a one-on-one to let you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I said on the,
don't say it.
On a one-on-one. And then you're going to both agree with me. Well, I don't know. No encouragement there's on your own. And I'm telling you, what would have happened is this. The government would have solved this fight, saw where it was now legal, and they would have come in and they had the right when it's conflict like this, which I will explain to you, to take it up under the network, up under the right of parties with conflict under legal supplementation to the community. Because when it's for the community and there is a conflict with the neighborhood rights, they gonna call themselves when they really concerned about the government anyway. The government, the people, the government really is. They would have snatched it and said, "This is not good for the government people, for the governing people." And so they would have snatched it from the neighborhood right to the people who have the neighborhood rights to it, and they would have snatched it and they would have used it how they wanted to use it, calling themselves protecting the interests of the community, and it still would have got messed up. Sometimes it is best that one person get it, and then you pull people together. Now, I'm not going to argue with myself. But,
yes.
So I'm going to tell you, so what I did do, it was my objective to, and I understand Pete getting a little perturbed about it, not Pete, but Sam, it was my objective to come together with Sam. My objective to come together with Pete. Matter of fact, I even talked to Pete about this last year. And I told him how I wanted him to be a part of what I was doing and the respect that I had for him and the particulars that I did say. He had some other suggestions in working with me. I won't say that over the phone either. And I just left that alone. But I approached him.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. I don't want to really get into a conversation about Pete because he's not here.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, let's not say. Yeah,
I respect the brother. Here's my point. My whole point is just because I respect Pete. I'm not saying I don't respect Pete. I'm saying I brought it to them, and I had certain conversations in regards
and they didn't want to be
doing some things.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, my whole point I'm saying is just that Pete know I respect them. I mean, I love the brother like the brother. That's whatever, that's his thing, whatever. I'm just saying I approach these people in regards to them. And certain things, when in conversations, the way these certain things, he allowed me to get up on the stage and want to honor him. He was thinking different last year than he was thinking this year. He had to work his way to get where he was at, but he worked his way to get there.
He did. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and then let me ask you this, and I'm gonna let you go because I've been fighting a headache, you gave me a bigger one after this. You don't gave me so much information. I got so many notes I got to look through. Now they're saying that all of your stuff at this point is pending. You actually don't own it yet. It's still pending. Is that true?
Let me let the phone. I got to let the window up so we ain't blowing hard. What'd you say again?
They said that your things are pending. They're not like you don't own it yet. Is that the case, or do you actually own it?
No, ain't no pending. My stuff, I own it. Right? When you get a TSU number, as I put on that of that banner, then it is registered copyright. To be saying this to you over the phone would be illegal.
I'm with you. Would you share that? Would you be willing to share that number at some point?
Yeah, I can text you the number. I can text you both numbers.
That'll be great. And we just want to know what we need to do now going forward. Is there anything that we need to do? Do we need to start paying? When we pay $10 to go to our steppin set, do we pay a $3 extra surcharge because that goes to you? I'm being funny, but I'm just saying. What does that mean?
No, but actually. Under the federal law, which I wasn't planning on doing nothing like this, but the federal law reads is that now they're gonna really get pissed off when I say this, but I'm not planning on using it in this fashion. The law says that a copywriter has to write a person who wants to promote, be it radio, be it a party, or whatever the case it is for using, they really to go to the copywriter to get a license to use it, which is actually a permission to use it. And the law also says that I have a right to, but I didn't force this because I paid for my sister and them to get into the World Lodge. Pete gave me a free ticket, and I did security for him. I did security for him free. I'm not really going off of what this law says, but the law says that that money that is made off of any steppers party all over the world, I have rights to it. I'm not concerned about that. I'm like, there won't be community. I'm not concerned about that. One thing I would want everybody to do at this point, we talking about at this point, is that to recognize me and provided they don't mind considering me when I am coming to the party, not necessarily looking for free, whatever that particular situation is at that time, and I talk to them that we be able to meet head to head on whatever that's going on, and treating everybody as fair as I treat this person as I treat the next person. But I'm not necessarily looking for nobody to pay me this, pay me that, pay me that, pay that. Whatever the situation is at that time, I got to be careful how I quote the law in this particular situation too, because I'm not going to forfeit my rights at the same time to work to that I do have. And when somebody want to use the dance privately to do something, there's called, you can look this up too, private licenses that they're also supposed to get from me. But I'm not necessarily looking for all this stuff right now. The law is what it is, and people did not do their homework before they start doing things to see what they can do with this. This law already was existing before even steppin ever came about. So we're talking about 60s and early 70s. So the point is, we just do not study, as you and I was talking about before, to know what is there for us to use. But it just so happened, I just was inquisitive, as I told you in the first conversation, to search and find out what is there. And the whole point is, I'm knocking white people when I say white people, but the government is predominantly white. I mean, that's all I'm saying, is that provided the government was to get this dance, then they will be giving us these tickets and these licenses and can lock you up. People that ain't been locked up. They can be locked up for getting more than $150 on the door for tickets and putting tickets up, making money off these dances, and the government is not taxed. They're not giving any money to the government. They just have not been locked up. So when I came in and copyrighted the dance, the government has no right to it.
So what's next? What do you plan on doing with this that you have? What's your next venture for the community? What are you working on? You working on some Hollywood stuff or what?
I got so much stuff on the table. I can't talk about anything right now, and that's why I was talking to you about earlier. Right now, I don't mind communicating lesbian with you, and I respect your intellect at the same time. And
all right,
I'm gonna listen to it. Whoever, like with the sense that you got, I'm gonna listen to anybody that got some sense. It's not just about me.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that I have a little sense. I appreciate it. Well, it's been, it's been fun. I know you have to go, and I do appreciate you for taking the time out today to talk to me. And I appreciate it, and I look forward to hearing from you and hearing these great things that you're going to do for the community. I really appreciate it. So right now, going forward, there's no surcharge, upcharge on my privates, because the privates are already kind of high. So ain't no surcharge, ain't no extra charge on.
Your phone is breaking up. Ain't no what for what?
Are there any surcharges that I need to be concerned about going to a class, going to a stepper set that they owe you? Are promoters okay right now? Are they okay to still use stepping on their flyers? All that stuff is still good right now, right?
Well, I can't, nothing has been stated right now. Nothing has been. I'm not going to say I'm going to do something like that, but I'm not going to deprive myself of my rights at the same time. I haven't gotten to that point yet.
I can respect that. And then the other question is, and then before I let you go, someone is saying that your copyright only says that you are able to just instruct the dance and that you don't own anything else.
No, not my copyright, because I'm the one that wrote it up. So
okay, so you know what it says. Okay, how about that? All right. Well, again, I wanted to ask you, and I'm glad that you was transparent as much as you could have been, and we appreciate it. So the Steppin community says thank you. If this is indeed for the community and to the betterment of this community, we say thank you. I would definitely say continue to speak to our legends and our people that's been in this thing a long time, and talk to them and reach out to these people and make sure that everybody is okay and supportive of what you're doing. I appreciate you. God bless you, and have a good evening.
Okay, you too.
All right, sweetheart.
And you know what? What I'm going to do also, I'm going to look up something, and I'll call you.
Okay, call me.
You'll see it.
You got my number. Thank you, hon.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay. All right.
Well, so what y'all want to talk about? Because I don't know what to say. Now, I know y'all got all this stuff on here y'all saying that ain't the truth and all this kind of stuff. Y'all, I don't know. We have an attorney I know that's on the line. Lee, I think it's her last name. Miss Lee, are you still on the Facebook? Erica, I want to say her name is, or Isra Lee. If you are still on the line, could you please let me know that you're still here? Let me know that you're still here if you're still here. I made it happen. People call me Olivia Pope. Olivia Pope has done her job. I literally, my head is hurting so bad. Like it's pounding off my shoulders at this point. It's just like, so I'm going to have to end this, or I will have a migraine for the next. I just got rid of it and I had it for 6 days. So I don't need to have another one. So I want to end this. I have to end this just for medical reasons. I need to end it. But Miss Israel, how to say her name, Nicole? I know you're on here. Please tell me her name. I want to have you on the show really soon. And again, I'm not giving this guy a whole bunch of play. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I am trying to do is make us realize how close we are to losing what we have. Yes, we might have needed an interpreter. Yeah, a lot of it sounded like it was jibber jabber, but this man really sounds like he's got something. Now, what it is, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I don't know. But at this point, guys, I don't know. I'm very rarely at a loss for words, but I'm literally at a loss for words after this one. All right, so guys, go ahead and share the live. I want to say you again, thank you so much for always supporting the brand. You are still here. Are you available to go live right now? Currently researching on the other end. Okay, so she's researching on the other end. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go. Nicole, I'm gonna have to go, sweetheart. It is like really bad. So, what else I was gonna say? If you could reach out to me, yes, thank you. I see that you've responded to that. You can come on. All right, so we can do it another time. Let's do it another time, please. Let's do it another time. Let's maybe look at tomorrow. Okay, y'all want to see her now. Okay, I'm gonna let you do the talking. Let me say this to you. My phone is turned the long way. So before you turn your phone first, you know what I mean? Then hit start. Okay, so it should let you come side by side instead of in a little window. All right, so if you could go ahead and send me a request, and we'll see if it'll work. Okay, if it does not work, like I said, guys, we will revisit this just for the sake of, you got it, you understand? So turn it sideways and then hit join her video, join her live. Okay, right. People are saying, what is this? Can we just dance? And I'll let her talk. Thank you, Nicole. That's exactly what I planned on doing. So send me the request if you can, if you see it at the bottom there. Yes, we are just dancing. Yes, it's still a social. A lot of us, Candyman, can you bring me ibuprofen, hon? Like 4 of them, please. Man, bring me 4 thingies, please.
It's an opioid crisis out here.
Just do what I said, please. Send the request again. It went away. It went away for some reason. Send it again to me. 4. They're only 2 milligrams, y'all. Y'all tripping. It's only 800 milligrams. Send it again to me, Miss Lee, Attorney Lee. Yeah, I'm gonna do all that. Thank you, Samsonite. So we're waiting for me to get the request from the attorney, and we'll make that happen really quick. You didn't even put them in no napkin. You put them in your little nasty hands.
You know, dope.
You can't see all the way down it. Really? Thank you. Miss Lee, send it to me again.
This is not the Candyman.
You the Candyman. Miss Lee, send the request to me again. Y'all tripping. Y'all don't take 4? You take 2 800. No, I ain't gonna take that much, but I am gonna take these 4. Miss Lee, send me the request. If we can't get her tonight, guys, we will go back and revisit, and we may have to just go back and revisit. They say they can't see you, but they can hear you giving me the dope. So I don't know why you tripping. Okay, Miss Lee, do I have it? Try to invite me because it's not allowing you. All right, let me see if I can invite you. So hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can get Miss Lee on the phone. Let's see. You know what? It's not going to do it because I don't even think we're friends yet. So that may be what it is. You know what? I could call you. Let me see. I think I have your number, so y'all hold tight. I think I got your number earlier today. Better yet, management. Miss Lee. Okay. I'm going to give you my number. It's the same number I put out last night. And you know what? It's so funny. Doe, which is I love Doe so much. Doe was like, have you been getting any nudies since you gave out your number over the air? All right, I'm going to give you my number now and just call me. How about that? My phone number is 404-514-6372. 404-514-6372. That is my number. If you can call me on the number, would be great. All right, thank you. We'll do it that way. I don't have a problem with that. Sounds good to me. Thank you guys so much. You need one more? One more time. 404-514-6372. Thank y'all. Y'all are so sweet. I see y'all like, you make it happen on this show. I try. That's the burner phone. Yes. That is my burner phone. So don't even get no ideas that you really gonna get me any other time other than when I want to be got on this phone. Okay? All right. Thank you, Ms. Lee. Is dialing to provide clarity. Very good. Thank you so much. We got T Sippers on here giving y'all play-by-play. We about to have the attorney call. Very, very good. Hello. Attorney Lee. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am okay. I'm okay. I am okay. That's all I can say. I'm okay. Now,
your poor brain is probably being rattled.
Oh my God. You have no idea. I'm going to just hope these 4 ibuprofens kick in real quick. Now, I saw that you were on the live.
Yes.
At times, it was a little difficult to hear him explain exactly what he has. But I think I wrote down this number that he says he owns. It's a TSU number for the copyright.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is, but that's one of the things that I did write down.
Okay, so you can give that to me so I can look at and see what exactly he's saying that he owns for the purposes of copyright. But even still, that doesn't allow him to stop other people from being able to teach or do competitions for Chicago Step. That's the short end of the story.
Okay. Would we have to worry about paying him?
No.
Okay.
The only thing you would have to pay him for is if you decided to use that unique trademark name that he has registered. And as of right now, based upon what's on the United States Patent and Trademark Office records, which anyone is free to check, he has what's called an intent to use application filing. So that basically means that he's given 1 year from the date of that application to actually establish use of that particular logo. But as you've already said, Chicago Steps has been around for how long?
Oh God, I girl, many
So
years. Yeah.
For him to be able to say that it's tied to just him is ridiculous. Let's just be clear about that. Chicago Steps has been around 4 years. Whatever he has in terms of what he's going to do with the trademark registration that he has will give him the ability to slap his name on a instructional video, basically, and then he can sell the video with that logo. The purpose of a trademark is to act as a source identifier so that consumers can distinguish between brands. Same thing for who they want to learn step from. So either they're going to learn it from him or they're going to learn it from the next person. But for him to say that he's the only one who can do Chicago Step for all purposes, that is not the purpose of intellectual property. The only intellectual property that gives you like a license to where literally they have to go through you is patent. And dance does not fall under patent, it falls under copyright. We all do our unique expressions of things under copyright. So obviously if you have a tree and I paint a tree one way and another person paints it their way, so we both have copyright. So with Chicago Step, there's only so many different moves that you can do, correct?
That's correct.
So basically, for the purposes of copyright, it's going to be in some kind of instructional video, or it's going to be in where you have obviously the competitions that's all over the U.S. at this point. And people are filming it, and maybe someone wants a copy of the actual competition to watch later, for whatever purpose. You can sell those videos that way. But to say that gives him a blanket license to where I heard something about he had on some type of vest when he came on stage, I guess because he was afraid that he was going to be harmed for this announcement that he made.
Well, he does security. And so he had on a security vest. He didn't put the vest on to go up on the stage. He already had it on, but yeah.
Gotcha. So is it my understanding that he's actually a dancer? He's an instructor?
That would be a good understanding from my understanding that he is. I don't know him. I've never really even heard of him. So until this happened.
Gotcha. Okay. So the other purposes of copyright is generally that you are the original creator of the work. So again, when he, made this announcement and everything, I immediately went to the copyright records that are maintained through the Library of Congress, and I didn't see any record with his name on it.
Oh, wow.
Or with that name. So I don't know what exactly he submitted to you. What did you say he gave you?
Well, nothing yet. I asked him about this TSU number. He didn't have it handy. He said he would text it to me. So I don't know what he actually has. I think one of my bigger questions for you is, can he actually own a word?
Well, again, it depends on how he's using it. If the word is descriptive of what it is he's providing, no. So if you literally provide instructional videos of Chicago steps, and on the front of your video literally is just Chicago steps, no. So what he has attempted to register is a very long name. I'm going to look at it and just read it out of what's on here. And it says, one second. It says V Cool Chicago World Style Boppin Steppin. That's what he called it, and he spelled Steppin STEPPEN. So
Okay.
you own basically he's registering the right to use that name on his instructional videos for steps, but that does not give him a blanket license to stop anyone else from providing steps or for the competitions or any of those different things. So I don't really know what he was trying to do with this announcement, but he is misinformed as to the law. Secondly, even if he decided to, what are you going to do? You're going to sue everybody? Because litigation is expensive. And I'm talking from experience where I handled a litigation case not too long ago, earlier this year, and we're talking about thousands of dollars. And I'm not no disrespect to him, but I'm pretty sure he does not have.
I just popped my fan, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. No, again, there are 3 levels of intellectual property. You're either going to have patent, which is the ultimate blanket to where you can stop someone from making that, and that is for a limited time. Chicago stuff has probably been around longer than that. The length of time for patent is 20 years. After 20 years, anyone is free to make it, and you have to provide the blueprint to the United States Patent and Trademark Office, showing people how to make it that are familiar with that area of science or whatever the invention is. The next thing in line would be copyright, which is 70 years from the plus the life of the author. But again, it applies to your unique expression of certain dances or choreography and things like that. And it has to be in a tangible medium. For the purposes of dance is usually a little bit more complicated in terms of that tangible medium piece. Because obviously, like with Alvin Ailey, those, original dancers, he had to put his dance moves on paper, like literally foot by foot, to be able to protect it, because there was no film back then. It's only now that we've had to where you can put your dance choreography on YouTube or on or tape it with your phone or something like that, or it's on some kind of instructional video. I also went through like several different records within the copyright record, and there's several different books on teaching people how Chicago steps. So is he going to say that they can't do it? And those records go back to about 2001, I think. Some of them might even be earlier than that, but that just shows you how long this, this particular genre has been going on, to where no one person can claim Chicago steps for their own. Now, I don't blame him for trying to make money off of it in his own way, but he just can't say that stops him from, or stops any other competitor from doing the same thing. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And a lot of people are playing on the word that he used with the EN. I specifically asked him, what about the other variations? And he said his paperwork shows any variation of that word is still owned by him.
No.
Okay.
Again, a misinterpretation
Okay.
of the law. So,
Okay. Okay.
Usually you do what's called a disclaimer of certain words when it's tied or it's too descriptive of what it is you provide. So any variation of stepping, if that's what it is, literally that they're providing, not that to me that would matter. I mean, okay, so I can't spell it Steppen, but it's not spelled that way anyway. However, usually you can't claim just one word out of the mark and say, I own that.
Gotcha.
It has to be the mark in its entirety.
Gotcha. So we don't have anything to worry about, but is there some things that we need to do though, in terms of protecting our brand, but protecting our community from people coming to get it? You know, the folks that may want to take over and do those type of things. Is there anything that we need to do as a community?
Well, what I suggest is people on steppin, because here's the thing. People are making money in putting together these competitions, right?
Right.
If you want to do maybe like some type of unique T-shirt with slogans on them, but obviously not to the point where you can stop anyone from being able to say it within the industry of step. But other than that, the point of the matter is if people want to make money from this, to monetize it, to create their own instructional videos, because no one's going to do steps the way you do. No one's going to have the swag that you have. So if you want to, you can create your own moves, maybe something different that no one has seen, and maybe put it behind a paywall on a website or have a private YouTube page. There's all different types of ways to where you can monetize your unique expression of it, as long as it doesn't encroach on anyone else's ability to do the same. Because again, the whole point when the founders of this country came up with intellectual property was for us to be able to monetize our work, and so that at the end of the day, it impacts the goodwill for mankind. Does that make sense?
It does.
So we want to keep competition out there because it improves and makes things better
for us, for
not
the community,
to where
right?
we stifle people to where no one can make it and only one person has a monopoly. That's why we have the Department of Justice that tries to keep those types of things under wraps as far as monopolies are concerned.
That makes sense.
Xfinity, Comcast.
Right, correct. That makes sense.
So we don't want one person to own anything.
Well,
for too long.
Right. So we're good. Now, do we need to retain you as the steppin community attorney or what? You tell me, because I call the people and be like, listen.
If the step community needs me, by all means. I just want some lessons because I don't step nearly as good as some of these people.
Girl, let me tell you something. Your lessons are free. Your lessons free if you help in this community. They free.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody has anything to worry about. Keep on stepping and keep doing your competitions because A, he has not even completed the application. B, he might do his own unique style of Chicago step, but he does not own step. No one does. It's for everyone to enjoy. And he don't have the funds.
Girl, you know what?
I'm telling you.
Sister girlfriend, I just love all on you. Y'all show me some hearts. Show some love for Attorney Lee. Attorney Lee.
Thank you.
Yes, y'all show some. Listen, we need to show her some love for real. We absolutely thank you for coming on this live to explain to us what is going on. So now when Legends can relax a little bit, we can just let him. Yeah, we can let him just say what he want to say. It's freedom speech. He can do that. But we're okay. Pete, powers that be, I do think it might be a good idea to let's revisit this coalition. Let's revisit having a team of folks that's protecting this as a brand, if you will, because I really feel that Hollywood is coming, and I think it'll be good if we have one place that they can go to and all of our stuff is taken care of, and we know that we're going to be represented well. Like the community is going to be represented well.
So, like again, the thing to remember is Chicago Step is too generic because it literally describes what this dance is. So, if we have certain instructors out there that want to, create a different name to the dance or their particular move, they can do that. Give it some other name, kind of like the Nene or the Wobble or all these other dances that the kids have out. They've given it their own name, but after a while, if no one comes forth, I guess, is attaching themselves to it, it's going to become generic if that's literally what the dance is.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense? Exactly.
It does.
It's literally, if it describes what it is not going to be a trademark. It's too descriptive. It cannot be merely descriptive. So,
there y'all have it.
And that applies to anything.
Well, you have my vote. You have my vote Do you have a phone number? And how can we get in contact with you if someone have some things that they're doing that they may want to talk to you about, hire you, retain you? How could they get in contact with you?
So they can reach me on my website, which is www.ejleelawpractice.legal. You can always find me in these internet streets at my Twitter handle, which is ejleelaw. Also ejleelaw on Instagram. And you can also please join my Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group that I call Be Creatively Legal with EJ Lee Law, and people can post questions. We can get together. In fact, I'm hosting a meetup group where I want people to just come, and if they have questions, please ask me. We can get together over Panera Bread, drinks, whatever you want to do.
I love it.
But I'm here to answer the questions because I love the creative community. This is why, I practice this area of law, because it's near and dear to my heart.
Awesome. Now, where are you? Are you in Atlanta? Where are you?
I'm in Metro Atlanta, actually.
Oh, my God. No, you're not in my city. Ooh!
I am.
Won't he do it? That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
I love it. Awesome. So she's in Atlanta. So y'all, listen. Certainly, don't lock me up, because I'm going to be at your office all the time going now. So what if we thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, because I know you're tired. You've been practicing law all day. That sounds like a job. That's tough. That's tough. So we thank you so much. The community loves you. You're getting so much love. So go back on the live and look at all the love that you're getting. We appreciate you. I do want you to send me all of your handles again. I want to post it on this video so folks can get it. And we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome.
All right. Be blessed, hon.
You too.
All right. Bye. Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. How y'all feel? Y'all feel bad? Y'all feel good? I feel good. She's in Atlanta, so I feel real good. I'm going to need some a little stronger than these ibuprofens, though, okay? We got some in there. Oh, did you just put your fist up? Anyway, all right, guys. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Love you. Love you. All right. As always, sip, sip.